Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Mighty Line Minute. We're going to have a great session today. We've got Jason Sperry with Veteran Service Brands, who's going to tell us all about his company, what they have to offer, not only to veterans, but to the world. And it's quite an interesting story. I'm really proud to have him on today. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. So what can you tell us about your firm? I've looked and I saw that you have got companies GForce, Field Ops, Mach 1, Paint Corps, and you hire veterans and you run a wonderful franchise. I know we've got a great connection with Mighty Line. Tell me more about your company, how it got started and what it's all about.
Yeah, dude. So Jack Child, who's the founder and CEO of Veteran Service Brands, started GForce Franchise Group back in 2017. I think I had 5 by the end of that year, and we've grown obviously to 48 locations now. And in that time, he brought on Paint Corps, which is a commercial and residential painting company, and he also brought on Mach 1 epoxy floors. In the meantime, we also found that it was beneficial to start striping fields. So he opened up a 4th franchise, which is called Field Ops, which does forts, markings, anything you can think of. So football fields, an event like a concert, and you need parking is made into a new big, large field. They just go out for huge events like parking.
I was looking at some of the images on your website there. Everyone's got a smile in the work that they do, and striping athletic fields and venues sounds like an amazing business. They've got to really enjoy doing that.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you, John Plain, who's also our VP of Business Development and National Accounts, he did a Jordan Spieth event on a golf course, and it was absolutely beautiful. The work they did on that golf course. Wow. Really excited about what they do, and they really love doing it. So,
can you run through each of your businesses? Each one of those are unique. The epoxy flooring and the different types of flooring that you can do, the painting. Give our viewers a good idea of what each of those do.
Yeah, so Mach 1 epoxy floors, they do concrete polishing. So if you walk into a Walmart or a Sam's Club, or any of those, you're going to notice that they no longer are really putting tile flooring or any kind of specialty floors, wood floors. Right. They just polish the concrete down nice and smooth, make it all nice and glossy, and it's easier for cleanup. It's easier for them to maintain. So you'll see a lot of that. That's part of what Mach 1 epoxy floors do. But they also go into residential homes or large businesses. I know not too long ago we did a Lamborghini sales room, and the entire showroom, the floor can use thousands of square footage of epoxy for this location, and it was an absolutely remarkable epoxy floor.
And from what I've read, there's a difference between the different types of floors, the polyaspartic coatings, the epoxy, industrial use versus commercial versus residential. There's quite a lot of science behind that.
Yeah, there's a lot of science behind it. I actually have to call the co-founder of Mach 1 epoxy floors, Jason, all the time to ask him specifications about the epoxy coatings and what those specs are for customers. So very detailed business.
I know in my prior work, we had some specialty coatings for industrial floors that dealt with hazardous materials. And oftentimes you have to get into even measurements for conductivity, for static dissipativeness of a floor. So you can run into a lot of unique testing requirements after you've done the job. So I'm sure these guys are real experts in what they do.
Yes, they are. Very much so.
You've also got a painting arm as well?
Yep, so Paint Corps, Burgess Perry is the franchisor along with Jack Child for that one as well. And that's a commercial and residential painting. They've done everything from, large Amazon facilities to, repainting homes, cabinetry. I mean, you name it. There's a lot of subcontractors for that. It's a subcontractor model. And they stay pretty busy. They're nonstop over there as well. Burgess Perry's an amazing individual, franchisor, coach, a mentor to all of his franchisees. He's done a wonderful job so far in growing the business. And we're really excited to see where Paint Corps goes over the next few years.
Wonderful. Well, one of the things we do have in common with Mighty Line is a veteran-owned company. Likewise with Veteran Service Brands, with the hiring that you do and the franchises that you offer. How did that story begin where veterans became the focus of who you sought out to do this type of work?
So Jack Child, as I said, he started in 2017 with GForce Franchise Group. But before that, he had a few other franchises that he'd started out. One was seal coating, blacktop seal coating. The other one was another parking lot striping company as well. And he realized very quickly that a lot of his franchisees really weren't cooperating with one another. They weren't working extremely well together, but his veterans were working very, very well together, and they were helping each other out. And so what he ultimately decided to do was walk away from the previous franchise and sold it off. And then he started GForce Franchise Group. And he decided that it was a better business model to just be exclusive to veterans. And at that time, the unemployment rate in 2017 for veterans was well above 22%. And, he just had this calling for himself and for others to make it an opportunity for veterans to be entrepreneurs and start successful business. And so that's where it went from there. And it's really taken off. And we got a great group of veterans that, they can call on one another. They can, we've had guys given planes, fly to other states and go help each other out with large projects. Quite extraordinary what these men and women are capable of and what they'll do for one another. And I just believe that community of people and what we endured over the years, just really been remarkable.
Well, thank you for your service in that area and servicing veterans. And I know what contributions they made and every veteran makes. And it's just wonderful to see that you're supporting them. How did you make the Mighty Line connection?
Well, it's actually fun. I was doing some research a while back trying to figure out what made everybody wanting to look into Mighty Line. It really comes down to missions. And if you're painting inside of a building, you're obviously putting off some kind of vapors of some nature. And then if you got an Amazon facility, you got a Walmart, you got someone else in the same industry with a warehouse that needs some kind of striping work done inside. A lot of times you can't use your gas powered machines. You got to find a machine that's, electric powered. And then also, what am I putting into the atmosphere there while people are working? Am I going to reach a certain level where they're not going to be comfortable with feeding? And Mighty Line tape offered a wonderful solution for us to be able to go inside these facilities and still stripe and put on safety lines. And the durability alone, when you're looking about, I have something that was painted, it's chipped. I no longer have the ability to just go in and scrape it. I got to do sandblasting. I got to do all these different things to bring up this old stuff and then put down something new. It's just a better option for us to use Mighty Line tape versus, repainting or doing epoxy.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to see many large warehouses paint stripe on the interior and dealing with VOCs, and the reality that trying to make changes later, which always happens in warehousing, is very difficult. And the benefit with Mighty Line with those 3-year limited warranty, bevel edge, durable stripes that they make is a wonderful alternative. And I know you guys are outstanding partners in that area. So glad to see that working well. So what's new on the horizon for 2025? How do things look as far as opportunities ahead?
We still have quite a few territories that are open for us in GForce locations. That's one of our, focuses for the next few years. And then really trying to grow our Mach 1 epoxy floor space and our B Corp franchisee locations. We work with a lot of large vendors, Amazon, Walmart, a few others. And the goal is to just keep growing that national account exposure with them and then focus on providing them the best customer service that we can.
Cool. And how would we have people get a hold of you, or how would they reach out if they have an interest in creating a franchise through Veteran Service Brands?
Yeah, so they can actually just go to the Veteran Service Brands website. There's some drop-down menus that they can go through, and they can look at, what it takes to join. They can request a one-on-one meeting for a discovery call with Craig LeCare, who's our Director of Franchise Sales. And, it'll start a little bit of a drip campaign for them and to give them a little bit more exposure to what we offer compared to our competitors. And that basically starts the initial conversations for them to be franchisees. Obviously, they got to be a veteran, or the veteran has to own at least 51% of the franchise. Sure. And they can also reach out to myself directly at, j@veteranservicebrands.com. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions and get them in touch with Sperry.
Awesome. Well, Jason, hey, it's been wonderful to have you on today. Again, we have Jason Sperry, Chief Operating Officer with Veteran Service Brands here on the channel with Mighty Line Minute, and a wonderful partner with Mighty Line. We're glad to have you aboard today. Any final words? I do want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas before we exit, but I'll leave it with you here, Jason.
Yeah, Dave. No, I really appreciate you having us on here, and Mighty Line's been a great partner with us for a long time. Between putting down markings for warehouses and the signs, you guys are phenomenal. great product. We look forward to seeing you at the conference this year. See you guys soon. Merry
Great.
Christmas to everyone as well.
Thank you so much, and take care, Jason. We'll see you again in the future, I'm sure. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.